kind of talk about your transition here when you first got here and where you guys are at now as far as getting ready for the season coming up.
Well, getting to know our team is the biggest thing. The evaluation of our players, the expectations of us, and the expectations for them. I think those are the biggest things. And we got a lot of it accomplished this spring and this summer. So camp should be quicker. We should be able to hit the ground running and kind of go from there. But I think learning who our players are, them learning who we are, and the expectations from both sides.
A lot of new faces on the coaching staff, a few that are familiar, but just kind of talk about who you brought in and kind of your decision making as far as who you brought in.
Well, I wanted a mix of old and new, experienced and inexperienced guys that were younger to get on the road recruiting and had a lot of energy and juice, and then some older guys who could provide some stability for us. And that's where Greg Stevens is the offensive coordinator and Louis Chofi as the defense coordinator, really critical for me. And then the rest of it is familiarity, knowing those guys. And I worked with them or coached them or spent a lot of time with all of those kids, all of those coaches. So that familiarity is something that was really important for me.
Coach Stevens was here back when in the days when we won our back-to-back championships. Are we going to see a similar kind of offense, or is it going to be a little different for this coming season?
I think when I talked to him, as we discussed, the most important thing was be able to take advantage of our personnel. We had a great quarterback back in that time when Brian Bennett, and who I was fortunate enough to coach in the Senior Bowl, and after one of the big years. But I think we got to be able to take advantage of the personnel. The offense is flexible enough. The stuff that he and I have talked about and put together between both of us over the years that we've done is be able to take advantage of the personnel as we know it.
You talked about evaluating your players earlier from who you had coming in. Who are some guys that kind of stick out to you when you first got here as far as, these guys are going to be, some really, really powerful leaders and just really great players?
I think they had to know us for a while, Colton, so there was a time when guys were just kind of feeling themselves through. But Braylon Thorns, I think, has done a really good job, especially on the defensive side of the ball, providing leadership. He's vocal. He's very intense. He plays with passion. You really like that. And then over on offense, I think that Nigel Jackson's really had a good spring and summer. He did a good job for us, and he grew. He and Jariah Tolbert, from a receiver standpoint, even though there's not a lot of production, we saw a lot of talent, and that's what we're looking forward to.
You've really embraced Southeastern's mission, the athletic department's mission statement, classroom community, and you did a partnership with CASA, and you recently announced it. Kind of talk about how you guys came together and all that kind of.
Yeah, the competition in the classroom, that's winning championships and graduating, walking out with diplomas on one hand and a ring on the other. The community involvement became, we wanted to make a decision how we could help our community give back to the city of Hammond and the surrounding areas because they're critical in our support and giving us a home field advantage. Well, when we looked around, we saw that CASA, which is a program that takes care of foster kids who have been abandoned or abused, and it was a way for us to provide to them the opportunity for their kids to be around our players and for our players to provide a mentorship for them to be able to see maybe how fortunate they really are and to provide those kids with an opportunity to be around college football players either on Saturday night after the game or coming to the game or sitting down with us at a team meal. We want them all involved because we know how special it is. The stronger we make the city of Hammond, the stronger Southeastern Louisiana football is going to be.
And finally, you have a few ties with the Southland Conference. Your son Anthony is one of the coaches at Northwestern State, and the other son played at quarterback at Incarnate Word. I guess talk about what's it like going to have to go up against your son later on in the season.
Well, I don't have to go up against him, but I know he's a good coach. He does a great job. I've been with him. I've seen his success. He won a state championship at Jesuit High School a few years back. So I know he's a good coach, and I know Jordan's experience at UIW was really great. He did he played football and baseball there and did a really good job. And, we went to some of those games when we had time off in the college or the NFL scene. We would drive in and go or fly in and go to UIW in San Antonio. So, yeah, we're familiar with both programs, close to both programs. I just know week in and week out in this conference it's going to be a dogfight. So we got to be ready to play whoever we're playing.